The Kingdom of Kush, the rise, glory, and legacy of an ancient African civilization. Introduction. Nestled along the Nile River in what is now Sudan, the Kingdom of Kush was a formidable and culturally rich African civilization that flourished for over 2 millennia, c. 2500 BCE, 350 CE. Often overshadowed by its northern neighbor Egypt, Kush was a powerhouse in its own right, boasting advanced architecture, a unique written language, and a complex societal structure. This in-depth exploration delves into the origins, achievements, and enduring impact of the Kingdom of Kush, illuminating its significant role in shaping the history of northeastern Africa. 1. Origins and early development. Geographical significance. The Kingdom of Kush was strategically located in Nubia, the region along the Nile south of Egypt. This area was rich in natural resources, including gold mines, iron ore, and precious stones, which were crucial for trade and wealth accumulation. Kerma culture, c. 2500–1500 BCE. The early phase of Kushite civilization is known as the Kerma culture, named after its capital city, Kerma. Archaeological findings reveal a society with sophisticated craftsmanship, evidenced by high-quality pottery, intricate jewelry, and impressive burial mounds called tumuli. Political structure. The society was organized into a centralized monarchy with a hierarchical social structure. The king was considered semi-divine, serving as both a political leader and a religious figure. 2. Interaction with ancient Egypt. Trade relations. Kush and Egypt engaged in extensive trade, exchanging commodities like gold, ebony, ivory, and incense. These interactions facilitated cultural exchanges that influenced art, religion, and politics in both civilizations. Egyptian conquest and occupation, c. 1500 to 1070 BCE. During Egypt's New Kingdom period, Pharaoh Thutmose I led military campaigns that resulted in the conquest of Kush. The region became an Egyptian colony, and Kushites were conscripted into the Egyptian army and bureaucracy. Cultural assimilation. Under Egyptian rule, Kushite elites adopted Egyptian religious practices, hieroglyphic writing, and artistic styles. Temples to Egyptian gods were constructed, and the worship of Amun became prominent. 3. Reassertion of independence and the Napatan period. Collapse of Egyptian control. As Egypt's New Kingdom declined, Kush regained autonomy around 1070 BCE. The capital was established at Napata, near the fourth cataract of the Nile. Formation of a new identity. While Egyptian influence remained, Kush began to forge a distinct cultural identity. They developed their own religious practices and artistic styles that blended Egyptian and indigenous elements. Expansion and military strength. Kushite rulers expanded their territory, exerting control over trade routes and fortifying their military capabilities with skilled archers renowned throughout the ancient world. The 25th Dynasty, Kushite Pharaohs of Egypt. King Kashta's initiatives. Around 760 BCE, King Kashta capitalized on Egypt's fragmented state, extending Kushite influence into Egyptian territory. Pia's conquest. Kashta's successor, Pia, also known as Piankhi, launched a successful campaign that culminated in the unification of Egypt and Kush under his rule. He established the 25th dynasty of Egypt, marking the first time a Nubian king ruled over both lands. Cultural revival. The Kushite pharaohs initiated a renaissance of Egyptian culture. They restored temples, commissioned monumental architecture, and promoted arts and literature. The construction of pyramids at sites like El Kuru and Nuri reflected a revival of Old Kingdom traditions. Religious reforms. Emphasizing the worship of Amun, the Kushite rulers positioned themselves as divine intermediaries. They built the Jebel Barkal temple complex, which became a significant religious center. 5. The Meroitic period, a golden age. Relocation to Meroë. After the Assyrian invasion of Egypt around 656 BCE, Kushite rulers retreated to Napata and eventually moved the capital to Meroë around 590 BCE. This move marked the beginning of the Meroitic period. Economic prosperity. Meroë's location was advantageous for agriculture, trade, and iron production. The city became a hub for the smelting and crafting of iron tools and weapons, contributing to economic growth. Development of the Meroitic script. Around 300 BCE, the Kushites created their own writing system, the Meroitic script, comprising hieroglyphic and cursive forms. Although not fully deciphered, this script signifies a move towards cultural independence. Art and architecture. The period saw the construction of numerous pyramids with distinctive steep angles. Artifacts from this era display a fusion of Egyptian, Greco-Roman, and indigenous African influences. 6. Society, culture, and religion. Social structure. Kushite society was hierarchical, but allowed for social mobility. Royal women held significant power, with queen mothers, kandakes, sometimes ruling in their own right. Religion. The pantheon included Egyptian gods like Amun and Isis, as well as indigenous deities such as Apedamak, a lion-headed warrior god. Religious practices involved elaborate rituals, temple ceremonies, and offerings. Burial customs. The Kushites believed in an afterlife, which is evident from the elaborate tombs and burial goods intended to accompany the deceased. 7. External relations and trade. Trade networks. Kush was integral to trade routes connecting sub-Saharan Africa, the Mediterranean, and the Near East. They traded goods like gold, ivory, animal skins, and exotic animals. Diplomacy and conflict. Kush maintained diplomatic relations with other powers, but also engaged in conflicts to protect its interests. Notably, they had interactions with the Greek and Roman empires, sometimes as allies and other times in opposition. 8. Decline and fall. Economic decline. Overexploitation of resources, environmental degradation, and competition from emerging trade powers weakened the economy. Invasions and loss of territory. Repeated conflicts with the Roman Empire and internal rebellions strained Kushite resources. Conquest by the Kingdom of Aksum. In the 4th century CE, the rising Kingdom of Aksum invaded and captured Meroë, leading to the collapse of the Kushite state. 9. Legacy of the Kingdom of Kush. Cultural impact. The fusion of Egyptian and African elements in Kushite culture influenced neighboring regions and future African civilizations. Archaeological significance. The ruins of cities like Kerma, Napata, and Meroë provide valuable insights into ancient urban planning, architecture, and society. Rediscovery and research. Modern archaeological efforts continue to uncover artifacts and monuments, deepening our understanding of Kushite history. Inspiration for African heritage. The story of Kush serves as a source of pride and identity, highlighting the sophistication and achievements of ancient African societies. Conclusion. The Kingdom of Kush stands as a monumental testament to Africa's rich historical tapestry. Its ability to forge a unique identity while interacting with powerful neighbors illustrates the dynamism of ancient civilizations. From the bustling streets of Kerma to the iron forges of Meroë, Kush was a beacon of innovation and cultural fusion. The echoes of its legacy continue to resonate, inviting us to explore and appreciate the depths of Africa's ancient past.